Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on 790 The Bet. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency and Wally Hatchett's Comfort Food and Drinks at 6439 Summer Avenue. Now here's your host, Larry Ray.
Good morning, everyone, and once again, it is Outdoors with Larry Ray, the award-winning show of outdoor activities in the Mid-South. You'll probably have noticed by now, this is not Larry Ray. This is Frank Barton. I'm co-hosting with Ron Wong, who's also here in the studio, and Larry's a little bit under the weather this morning, and so, Ron, we got it this morning.
Yeah, we do. Good morning, Frank. Good morning, everybody. Larry is under the weather. That's very unfortunate. I know that he always looks forward to this every Saturday morning to be on, and, we wish him well, pray that he gets well soon so he can get back in the studio. And want to thank Shelby McCall, our wonderful show producer, doing a good job. Hey, you can listen to us this morning on AM 790 or 92.9 FM in Memphis, and for our friends in Brownsville at 1520 AM or 95.3 FM, and in Jackson, Tennessee, we are on 101.5 FM.
I spoke to somebody not too long ago that listens to us from the Jackson station.
Oh, did you?
Yep, sure did. So we know we're getting out that way.
That's awesome, and we certainly appreciate everybody listening to us. Hey, Frank, the weather's changed now. We finally got some rain, and I know you as a duck hunter that you're much appreciative of the rain.
The ducks are starting to come in right now. This past week has produced several good hunts that been reported to me by my friends. I've been busy doing family errands and haven't been able to go yet, but we'll be doing that later on this weekend. So, new ducks coming in.
This blast of Arctic air that we've gotten here in the Mid-South, that's already hit up north. So I guess that's pushing them down, right?
That's what it takes.
Yeah.
Real bad weather. Of course, you saw we've been seeing all the news about the blizzard conditions that have been up in the Midwest and up in Michigan, the Dakotas,
right.
And so that brings us birds, and so it's good for the duck hunters. Not so much for you fishing people, but
the fishing people don't care. It's just a little bit cool, but we still get out there. And I know, Frank, talking with some of my friends there in the Reelfoot area, they've had a really, really good season so far, and talked to some friends that hunt down at Beaver Dam, and they've had water. And so with what little water's been around, I guess that's where all the ducks go, right?
It has been, and it's a good thing and a bad thing on that. The good thing is if you have water, you'd have ducks. The bad part of it is if you put pressure on those ducks there by hunting them, they will move out and they'll find places that are inaccessible, and then they don't have pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But now that those conditions have changed now, because everybody has water now.
Yeah.
So
finally,
natural flooding has filled in all the filled in those low spots, and so we've got good conditions for the ducks.
Mm-hmm.
The deer hunters are winding down their season.
And
I've
seen
weeks.
Some really nice bucks and big does that have been killed this year.
Yeah. And we'll be talking a little bit later in this show about the hunt down at Arca Butler, the physically challenged hunt.
You know what? And Frank, you were there. Posted some very, very good pictures on social media. And, I tried to get down there, and somehow or another I got hung up and had things to do. Because that's one of the activities I look forward to every year, because that's quite a hunt. Tell our listeners a little bit about what was going on. Of course, we're going to talk a little bit about it later on too.
Yeah, I don't want to steal too much of Rob Hoff's thunder when he does about it, but for those of you who don't know, for 32 years, the Rangers at Arca Butler have put on a deer hunt that is specifically geared towards physically challenged people. They used to call it the handicap hunt, and it changed over the time, and now physically challenged is what we do, and it's open to all sorts of folks in the Mid-South that have challenges. And there's a variety of challenges that go on out there.
Absolutely.
You've got quite a few people are in wheelchairs. Quite a few people have prosthetic limbs. We had a hunter this year. In fact, he was there last year. That is blind, and
Wow.
but they have a technology called a scope camera, and it's a device that goes on the rifle scope, and then it Bluetooth syncs to an iPhone, and
Wow.
they can so the helper can see where the hunter is pointing the rifle, and he can instruct them, go left, go up, go down, go back to the right there, pull the trigger. And so the helper can the person hunting does all the work.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the helper just tells them, gives them direction.
Isn't
and stuff.
that cool,
So,
though, to
yeah.
have technology like that?
Yeah.
And technology really helps a lot of the outdoors people, whether they're hunting or fishing nowadays. Too.
We had
That's
we
cool.
had two young boys. They were 15 years old. They are I want to say they're twins, but actually there's triplets involved. They have a brother that has no impairments, but the two that were out there both have cerebral palsy.
Oh, wow.
And they were out there with mom and dad, and mom go hunt with one of them in one spot, and dad go hunt with another one on the other spot, and they had a really big time out there, and just a delight to be around them, and
Yeah.
it's one of the things that keeps me going back is just
Yeah.
seeing folks like that.
Frank, having been there and having the opportunity to not only be with the people that are there and the wonderful people that work for wildlife resources there, but they have some nice blinds that they have built and set up for these people, so they're fairly comfortable. It's still in the elements of the weather. You're still going to get cold if it's cold, or wet if it's raining, but they do a good job in maintaining those blinds too.
They do. I'd like to say that some of them are the original blinds that have been out there for 32 years. That's not the case. They've been rebuilt over the years because nothing lasts that long. And but there's 33 of them out there in the impoundment area that they hunt with, and they're all filled up on the first day. Most of them filled up on days 2 and 3, and that was the first weekend. And then they let the place rest, and they come back the following weekend with a new group of hunters,
Right.
and do it all over again. And the stands are comfortable, but they're all accessible by wheelchair.
Yeah.
And it takes a bit to get everybody out. Again, let Rob talk more about that when he comes on.
Yeah.
But to get 33, physically impaired people out every day, is a bit of a challenge.
I was getting ready to say, and Frank, earlier you talked about us fishermen in this cold weather and all this rain. Well, the rain has actually muddied up all of the I-55 lakes because they were all so low they were being drawn down to a flood stage, and that exposed a lot of mud banks, and they've gotten muddy. But the crappie fishing is still pretty good there, except they've gone shallow because of the muddy water. They're catching most of the crappie right now and on the I-55 Lakes Archipelago Sardine at Grenada, anywhere from 3 to 5, 6 feet deep. Using minnows on a jig, that seems to be the best. And I know I was out earlier this week before all of the rain and everything, and I was catching some nice crappie, 5, 6 feet deep, up to 8 feet deep over deeper water. And I got to tell you, it's the water temperature then was 55 degrees, if you can believe it, in December. And anyway, those fish were biting pretty good. But now with this cold front and all this rain, this is going to drop down into the low 50s. But the fish are still going to be biting. So, it's good. Pickwick needed the rain too, believe it or not. And the crappie fishing is starting to pick up there. Bass fishermen, private lakes are your best bet right now, and you can certainly catch them using something like a jig with a trailer like a Strike King Menace in a dark color, black and blue. Those will work well, and also swim baits, working them very slow. It's going to work good for you and catching a lot of fish. And, of course, we're going to be talking to David Best this morning. And he likes to talk a little bit about Pickwick. Also this morning we're going to be talking with Amy Schneider-Spencer, talking about what's going on in Region 1 here from the TWRA. And, of course, like Frank mentioned earlier, we're going to have Rob Hoff talking about the Archipelago Lake Physically Challenged Deer Hunt. We're also going to have Smith Fields World Duck Calling Championship. And Bill Cooksey is going to join us for that show. And then also, Bill's got another guest. I guess he's going to let us know who that is when later on this morning.
It's a mystery guest.
It's a mystery guest.
It's a mystery guest. He's keeping it to a surprise with us.
Yeah, he is. Hey, listen, Frank, look forward to this show this morning with you. And, again, we want to wish Larry all the best to get well soon so he can get back in the studio. Let's take our first break.